A truly immersive video game can make the means by which we interact with the digital world disappear. This creates emotional bonds between the player and the game, heightening both tension and pleasure as players gain a sense of presence within the media. For many developers, this experience is the hallmark of a successful video game. J. David Bolter and Richard Grusin, both new media scholars, refer to this concept as transparent immediacy, where the medium itself should disappear and leave us in the presence of the thing represented, whether that be sitting in a race car or standing on a mountaintop. In attempts to maximize video games' aptitude for transparent immediacy, many developments within the industry have been centered around increasing believability and realism through the creation of open-world games, high-fidelity graphics, and sensory stimulation. The contemporary video game has progressed well past its humble beginnings of William Higinbotham's Tennis for Two, or more popularly, Atari's Pong, with Nintendo's renditions of these games reflecting the growth in the industry. When picking up a AAA game, the modern player can now expect highly detailed player and environment models that provide rich audio and visual feedback when interacted with. Horizon Forbidden West being a primary example of such. It is of Bolter and Grusin's opinion that immediacy is fostered through games' ability to replicate our daily visual experiences as closely as possible. Horizon Forbidden West does just this. Horizon is an open-world RPG set in a post-apocalyptic version of the United States. The game boasts expansive landscapes that are subject to different climates, replicas of familiar landmarks, high-fidelity graphics, and minimalistic UI. The boundaries between playable and non-playable space are often invisible or represented by natural breaks in the environment. The space beyond these barriers remains populated with assets as far as the eye can see, making it easy to picture the world as inhabitable. This almost photorealistic game space draws players in and promotes a sense of spatial presence, as it is easy to picture oneself within the environment. This world is made all the more believable through the complex behaviours exhibited by the NPCs. Espen Sogen, lead living world designer at Guerrilla, describes Horizon's NPCs as having numerous systems in place that allow for the expression of unique personalities and behaviours which are influenced by the culture of the tribes they belong to. To quote Sogen, the Oseram are a social and historically patriarchal tribe, so their animations are more about shoulder punches and high fives. The Itaru, on the other hand, are laid back, so they will often sit down together and be a bit more touchy-feely. As players navigate the game space, these subtleties serve to substantiate the digital world as a real place, populated with real people. The high level of realism achieved creates a truly immersive experience.
Bolter and Grusin also believed that immediacy can be promoted by involving the viewer more intimately in the image. The interactive nature of video games feels directly into this idea, enabling players to take a step inside the picture on screen, giving them agency and control over their individual experiences. Some consoles have taken this a step further, developing new controllers capable of providing realistic tactile feedback, which ultimately let players feel the on-screen world. Sony's PlayStation 5 DualSense controller uses voice coil actuators and adaptive triggers to create fluid vibration and mimic tension. When utilized in-game, players can feel things like different materials and the weight of different objects. Astro's Playroom, a simplistic 3D platformer featuring a chibi android character, uses these functions to create immediacy within a highly stylized game. When players move from platform to platform, there is a noticeable change in the vibration produced by the controller. When walking over metal grills, the vibrations are short, pinging shakes that switch from left to right with each step. When walking over glass, the vibration instantly changes to feel resonant and hollow. The game uses motion controls to mimic the actions of climbing, and the adaptive triggers allow players to feel the build-up of tension as they build up power to spring forward. Whilst holding a vibrating controller that you need to twist and turn sometimes may seem like it brings the medium into focus, the opposite is actually true. Tactile feedback and the use of familiar motions to control movements masks the medium in thick layers of realism, allowing it become transparent to players as the motion feel natural and the sensations match what we would expect if we were doing the actions in real life. This feedback creates tangible involvement between player and game, resulting in immediacy through realistic sensory stimulation. The features that drive immediacy in both Horizon and Astro's Playroom are commonplace in modern video games. There is no shortage of realistic open-world RPGs on the market, and the amount of games utilizing tactile feedback are steadily increasing. The many facets of realism and the player involvement acknowledged as the driving forces behind transparent immediacy.